Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another exciting Dreaming with Gemstone Gina. And I
Hi,
am so
everybody.
grateful to Gina for allowing me to continue to do this. And so I'm going to turn it over to Gina now.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Gina Virginia Casella here, spiritual biz entrepreneur, energy medicine practitioner. I do all kinds of things for those of you not familiar with me. One of my favorite things to do is energy work with dreams, bridge the dream life with the waking life. And I really am passionate about mind reprogramming and this business of the Akashic Records not being a permanent record and that you can take charge of your life. And so it brings me great joy to provide you with some mini gemstone readings. I'm noticing legitpodcast.com. Thank you for tuning in live. Is that you, Michael, or is that somebody tuning in live with us?
That is a network that we air to.
Ah, okay, because I sent in my Buy Me a Coffee, I sent out a reminder today and I told people, I said, as soon as the show starts, try and be there a few minutes early because as soon as it starts, let us know in the comments that you would like a turn. Sometimes people run out of turns. I like to provide mini gemstone readings. There's always so much to say. So just let us know in the comments if you would like a turn. Like I was saying, I do all kinds of um, things. Those of you who are not familiar with me, I do energy work and mind reprogramming. And one of my favorite things to do is this very gemstone reading. So I'll show you my gemstones just so you get an idea here what I'm talking about. So this was something that came together. I was having interesting dreams about the Gnome King, and there's a big storyline about it. And one day when I was at the beach, I found most of these gemstones. I've added to them since. And through dreams, half remembered, half misunderstood, I developed a routine. And these oracle cards, the Dragon Dreams Oracle, are part of that, all based on my dreams, half remembered, half misunderstood. Let me know if you can relate in the comments. Even if you catch this in 10, 20, 80 years from now, I'd love to know how you relate. And synchronicity has never been so much in my life lately, and I'm really starting to sink into the present moment in my everyday life. From my own dream alchemy. So definitely check out my um, free Facebook group, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, and my website, ginavirginiacasella.com. That's where you can find all the information about me. And recently, I started Story Species, Story Medicine, and it's for published authors, just like Michael, who's going to be a guest on my show sometime in November. I forget the date offhand, but it's penciled in my calendar. Folks like Michael and myself who have had interesting experiences, and we're not just sharing our story medicine. We took it to the next level. We published it. So you can find my books, the Dragon Dreams ongoing lifetime book series. There's 8 books published, and I got a suitcase here full of more dream journals that I got to go through. Michael just published a book, and he too is going to be publishing a series. And so if you're like myself and Michael, or if you're an illustrator and your story medicine is specific to the supernatural, the paranormal, you know what? Because there's um, paranormal is very normal, the supernatural is very natural, and there's nothing strange about high strangeness other than the fact that we don't talk about it and that we think there's something wrong. So, story species, story medicine is something I'm very passionate about. Definitely check me out, ginavirginiacasella.com. And while we're just waiting for folks to tune in, let me show you my gemstones again. So these two here represent Polaris, and he's a big white ram with big black baby doe eyes. And so he takes other forms, but in when my waking life and my dream life were bridging together in a positive way, I got freaked out when the gemstones were starting to talk to me, and I made the connection that these were his purple horns. So it's kind of like a soccer net. This is the goalie's net, the focus. And I have intentions of teaching you how to do your own gemstone reading. I've just got so many projects on the go. This one here represents Jaguar, transformation. This one here is Eagle Condor. And the way the gemstones identified themselves was while I was sleeping, I buried them in the soil and I just kind of let them dream away. This one represents the wise and well whale and orca elders. And if you look closely, there's a picture of, there's a glare. Hold on here. I show it in lots of other videos. There's a crescent moon shape. Let me know if you can see that, Michael.
I can see it. It's on the top part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whales in real life have a pupil that looks just like that. Each one is really special to me. This one represents the committee of the ones who listen. It looks like a dog's ear. At least I think so. This one represents Polaris. I talked about that. This one here represents warrior goddesses. This one here is more the masculine warriors, and they're the chivalrous type. This one here represents the mental plane. So let me know in the comments if you can relate to any of this. This one here, it's a pendulum, but I don't use it as a pendulum. It represents the tree of life, Toby. And in my life, there's such a special connection with Toby representing the tree of life and the pendulum, and also a connection to another archetype, the goldfish dancing on land, hummingbird, and this business of hysteria. Because those of you who follow me, Toby, he's kind of like a happy drunk. And I always felt kind of troubled by that. Like, why is my spirit guide kind of like on the drunk side, intoxicated? Like, he wasn't intoxicated with his senses, he was like drunk. And it was because the water had been poisoned. And that's why he was connecting with me, because, like, we need to take charge and reclaim our sovereignty, those kind of things. But also because he works with the power of hysteria. And when you get hysterical, you don't know if you're laughing or crying. It's a little bit of both. And that hysteria has become really potent to me lately because it shifts the ripples in the water. Now I'm just getting carried away talking about what I'm passionate about. But I see Woo Rider DG. Let me know, Woo Riders DG, if you want a mini gemstone reading. And did you just add that DG part? I don't remember it. But anyways, this one here represents the tree of life. Michael, you just interrupt me if Woo Rider lets us know in the comments if he wants a reading. These three go together. There's a third one. Where's the third one? Oh, she was still in my sock. This is the fancy sock that I keep them in. Let me know what you keep your special tools in. These three go together, and they represent Morgan Le Fay, like the Morrigan, and her three sisters. This one represents the dog monkey folk. All these folks I'm talking about are personal to me. Let me know how you relate in the comments. I talk about them a lot in my book series, the Dragon Dreams book series. This one is a 2-in-1. This one represents the dragon, and it also is representative of the physical plane. Always reminded me of a tooth or maybe a nail. Let me know what it reminds you of. This one has a buddy system right here. So as you can see, it's cracked, and Initially, I was so devastated. No, my gemstone, all this special meaning, and it's cracked. But then a special connection, this became the adults in the family, the older ones in our lives, not elders, just like typical adults in our lives, like parents. And then the little one became representative of the child. And then I had to replace the child because I don't know what happened to that little piece after a while. And so let me know in the comments how you relate. I love talking about tools and how you relate to them. So
So
just
it's kind of
that.
interesting you talk about a crack in the gemstone because
Yes.
I was watching a show about the cave of the apocalypse, and they viewed it as the cave because it was a volcanic bubble in this mountain, and there was a crack in the rock that went up and then beat out like a, so it looks like a Y, and there's a stone stuck in the center right on the top. And they said when they saw that, they thought the Holy Trinity, and so somebody went in and they were like, "Yeah, we can hear the voice of God in here," and yeah, that's where he wrote the Book of Revelations. And
Oh,
it's,
no way.
yeah, and so it's interesting how your view of the crack in the gemstone and how they viewed the crack in the rock.
Yeah, and then going back to the wise and well whale and orca elders, it's a different crack in the rock that made this crescent moon shape. Like you're talking about this one where the adult cracked and then we had the child sprang forth, if you will. Uh, I have another gemstone, Michael. You probably remember, but those of you not familiar, this one here represents the squid, and there's a W shape. And in real life, squid have this W shape. So it's rock formation, sand. It's become really special to me. I'm not a geologist by any means, but I really like to play with the imagination about why we have the formations that we do. Like if you look around the land around you and you notice there's a lot of rounded stones, that's probably because there was water or river flowing through there before, sanding the water down. But also in a special way, I think about creator, kind of like us being down here, a bunch of Play-Doh being shaped and molded, and things like alchemy just kind of cracking, and also that whip, that crack in the sky, the pink lightning bolt, very important to me.
Yeah, so
So,
Rue Riders DG came back and
okay.
he's picked
Hey,
number
number
6.
6. Okay, number 6. And thank you for participating. I'm just going to turn it down here. I'm just having a little laugh because Michael and I behind the scenes we're all set up with our backgrounds, but then um, you can't see my gemstones or you can't see the Dragon Dreams Oracle. So anyways, I'm having a good time being authentic. Okay, number 6. I'm going to try to remember that. Blue
I'll
Rider
remind you if you
DG.
forget.
Okay, what do the Gnome King's precious gemstones have to say about you? Yeah. Okay. So immediately I'm going counterclockwise. Does it mean anything? Does it not? I don't know. Okay, my eyes were closed. My eyes are open. Hey, can you see this okay?
Um, yeah, the box is a little bit on the top, but
Oh,
we can see around it. Oh, there we go. Now we can see it.
okay. All right. So, and number 6 down here. So north is up here. Um, the cards, I'll just put them here because they're kind of in my way right now. Okay. So I just need to kind of look at this, but the very first thing that stands out is this part here is completely blown open. That's fine. This here also blown open. There's a lot of concentration here. Something else that I'm noticing here where all this concentration is jaguar. So that's good. I mean, you have a lot to transform and transcend. Um, Stuff down here, this is the stuck zone. So what is stuck for you? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Okay. Jaguars should be here and Jaguars here. The three sisters, they should be on this side and they should be darkest to lightest to lightest. And look, so that is good synchronicity. So you have Woo Writer DG, you have the Moragon. And you know what? That's really powerful and cool because today's October 1st. So her energy is high. This is the time of year out there in outer space, planet Earth, doing its orbit and the stars, constellations, right? Her window is opening. So this would be a good time to connect with the Moragon. That's really great. I don't see that all the time. Um, as far as things being stuck, like I said, this is the stuck zone. Um, it seems like the Moragons working her magic with her sisters, and they're bubbling this up. So if you're feeling stuck, it will pass because all of this is actually being taken care for you. Cow, the dog monkey folk are going to take care of it. Manus should be down here, but he's reminding you, you know what? You're in charge of writing your story. The tree of life, it's confused right now. The tree of life, there's some things that were keeping you stagnant that you want to hang on to those things. You don't just want to throw everything out and move on. So Toby is basically communicating to you, you know what? Like, Gina was saying, we've got this covered. So your job is to trust in the universe, which is always can be a bit challenging. But there's some seeds that were taking root, that were starting to grow, that you were walking away from. And Toby's going, no, 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 no. Those seeds, we're going to put them back in the soil. So I wonder what that is. And then Hummingbird, your high quality items are all being carried over for you. So this gemstone reading is resting and reassuring you that there's a lot of alchemy going on along in your life. There's a lot of shuffling and reshuffling. Maybe you're, trying to create the perfect schedule, but it keeps changing on you. Your life is just like a kaleidoscope. It doesn't like stop at one image. And just when you think you get it, it's like, oh, now you've got these other images. But this is reminding you, like, just it's cool. You've got it covered. And I just want to investigate a little bit more here, the mental plane and all that. So your mental plane, as far as your cognitive thinking ability, it's good right now. So if you need to do paperwork or do some thinking, goal setting, do it. And it's nice and clean. So even though like the Moragon is with you, because a lot of people think, oh, Moragon, she's some kind of dark shadow witch figure. Like, don't think of her like that. Just think of her as a goddess who specializes in the death part of the life cycle. This is really positive and it's going to be bringing you clarity. And the reason I'm saying that is because this one representing your mental plane, um, it's not on this side, which has like a dirty mark. It's on this side, nice, clean, clarity. Physically, you're in alignment. Dragon is down here. the emotional plane should be here somewhere in the middle. So your heart center is down. But again, you're being reminded, don't worry, because look, hummingbird is up here. Snake and hummingbird, they work together. Snake should be down here, but he's up here. Whatever is being shed is being shed. I'm noticing Polaris. Polaris is focused. Look, there's the child right there. And look who's here in the stuck zone. So you might have adults in your life, family members in your life. It could be like real biological family. It could be like your work family. Maybe it's your Star Nation family. Maybe it's the Maragon family. But there's somebody that's keeping you stuck. You don't have to worry about them. The child with you is like, sayonara, already gone. See you later, alligator. They're way ahead. And I have a feeling, just if you look at this again here, I have a feeling that's why these two in particular, like this is Polaris's focus, but these two are also like protecting the child. Leave the child alone. Let the child dream and be free. And, Eagle Condor should be here. But just like Snake and Hummingbird, Eagle Condor and Jaguar work together. And so sometimes when when Eagle Condor is over here, it's like, oh man, it's Eagle Condor doing out of alignment. But in a very special way, this happened to me, and I feel like this is happening to you now, Blue Rider. So you're like, metaphorically, you're hanging out with Jaguar and you're talking and you're like, okay, Blue Rider, DJ, you're going to be transforming and transcending. And I won't repeat myself, but everything Gina's saying, that's what Jaguar is saying to you right now. But then there's like a knock on the door. And who is it? It's Eagle Condor. So you're like, hey, Eagle Condor, how's it going? And now you're all talking to Eagle Condor. But then this is the part here. When it's time for Eagle Condor to leave, you're going to be leaving with Eagle Condor. So you don't have to worry about coming up here and all the anticipation. Eagle Condor is going to just bypass you over here. So if this was you, the little snake, because this is like a roller coaster, right? So you're like, getting closer to the top, anxiety is building, doesn't need to be building, you getting anxious, don't need to be. Eagle Condor recognizes, hey, you know what? Let's just go this way. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because you're going to be flying wingtip to wingtip with Eagle Condor. And I don't get to say that often. Even myself, I don't get to fly wingtip to wingtip with Eagle Condor. I actually, I got the Eagle Condor card for myself the other day, which in this moment, I'm going to put it back inside the Dragon Dreams Oracle while I'm thinking about it, putting stuff in there. That's really special. When you fly wingtip to wingtip with Eagle Condor, basically you're flying wingtip to wingtip with God. You're the eye of the eagle sees all or it sees nothing. And the more I think about this gemstone reading and the mind having clarity, that's what I'm getting. And I'm seeing the comment, this is exactly what we have been going through this year, stuck in a certain situation, but this past week things are slowly moving forward. True story. Yeah. So things are slowly moving forward, but things are going to be changing fast, going to be creating some anxiety. Whoa, like the kaleidoscope in your life is just changing, changing, changing. But be rested assured, you're going to be flying with Eagle Condor. And I want to pick a card before I forget. And I see Polly Rotterman. I'd love to give you a reading. Let me just check with Michael first in case there was somebody else. And let me pick a card here. My eyes are closed. Whoa. Okay, this finger here is hungry. Wait, somewhere. I don't get it. My eyes are closed. Oh, this one here. Okay, what is this card? Oh, Murphy's Law. So Murphy's Law, science, don't worry. What's Murphy's Law? Murphy's Law means no matter how perfect your life is, and no matter how much you plan for something, no matter if you have a brand new car, full tank of gas, every single one of us has Murphy's Law up our butts, which means, you know what? Any of us can run over a nail and get a flat tire. Even though you have a brand new car, you know what? You might have a hole in your gas tank or whatever. Like, it just, no matter how best prepared you are for something, Murphy's Law is in our face. And extraterrestrials both don't like to be reminded about that either, because it applies to them too. So sometimes the Dragon Dreams Oracle, it complements the reading. Sometimes it serves as a blind spot. So I feel like this is like a blind spot reminder. So um, in conclusion, I guess to wrap up this reading, um, you're going to be flying wingtip to wingtip with Eagle Condor if you stay on the right track and just be mindful about Murphy's Law. So don't think you're invincible. Don't push your luck, going on a trip with hardly any gas in your tank, like Murphy's Law. If you've got air in your tire that's leaking, put air in your tire, because you know what, this the practicality of our life. So thank you so much for allowing me. That was a little bit longer. The mini gemstone readings, usually I just tell people the mental plane, physical plane, maybe 3 to 5 things like that. But when there's nobody else, then I can go longer. So, Michael, I see Polly Rotterman next. Was there somebody else before Polly?
No, nobody before her. I'm just trying to get her to pick a number 1 to 12.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring this down, and okay, I scooched everything over so my space. Give these a good mix. And Polly, we're doing you now. So I know
Oh,
sometimes people, they tune in live, but then they get busy with their soups that they're making and stuff, and they catch the replay. So my eyes
she
are
said
closed.
4.
4, okay. Polly. Ooh, and I'm going clockwise. Sometimes that means something, sometimes it doesn't. I feel like one is kind of stuck. Okay, part of me wants to go big, but I only have so much room here. So, okay, can you see all the gemstones?
Not the ones on the top or the bottom.
Okay. Those of you who book a private with me, the view is always better. It just tends to shuffle on this here. Oh, I think it's because my name is in the way. Okay, can you see that?
We can see it.
I feel like my computer's almost all the way closed. Okay. And number 4, I'll just put it here. It'll be out of view there.
There we go.
Okay. Right. Wow. Let's just have a look here. Okay. Snake is over here in the east. Eagle Condor is in the east. Eagle Condor should be in the east, so that's good. Hummingbird is in the north. That's good. Jaguar is out of alignment. Okay, Polly, don't plan or transforming or transcending anything right now is not a good time for you. Like, in a general way, we're always transforming, transcending, but if there's like a big goal that you've been working on, just put it on hold right now, because Jaguar helps us with tracking. You don't have help right now with that tracking. Polaris's focus, he's got a big focus. All this stuff here is in the middle, but Polaris is pointing upward. Yeah, so Polaris is reinforcing. So you know what? Like when it comes to the power animals, even the power animals need to transform and transcend. And so there's the jaguar within you, the part of you that's transforms fear into fearlessness, the part of you that finds the rainbow bridge, that walks beyond the valley of the shadow of death, those extra dark corners. Jaguar knows those places. Jaguar can track them, but it seems like the jaguar in you is actually transforming and transcending. So, that's really special. And um, I don't know where you're at in your spiritual journey, Polly, because I don't know you. Let us know in the comments how you relate. But I know when I was connecting with Jaguar, uh, people were sharing these beautiful stories about the Rainbow Bridge and all this like holy magical feelings with Jaguar. And when it was my turn to share, I started bawling my eyes out and I was pissed off because I was experiencing Jaguar and it was terrifying. And you know what? That's why I got involved in energy medicine. That's why I got involved with controlled remote viewing because um like it was a full disclosure that I couldn't deny. There was something in there. So if you are feeling scared in any way, shape, or form because Jaguar is trying to connect with you, that is very natural, very normal. Don't think for a second it's dumb or anything like that because Jaguar is very ferocious. And no, even though Jaguar can be very gentle and calm, sometimes we're just not used to that energy. Sounds of the wind, sounds like ghost noises, right? That kind of stuff. Growling type noises. Like if you hear that in your dreams, that's Jaguar. Um, so you just communicate to Jaguar through your meditation or prayers and let Jaguar know that about this gemstone reading, and Jaguar is in the process of transcending. So um, it's kind of like somebody who's training to be an athlete. Well, um, if a caterpillar is transforming into a butterfly, they have to put their training to be an athlete on hold. And that's you right now with transforming and transcending. So there's two things going on here with Jaguar. One, your Jaguar is transforming and transcending because now you're in connection with Jaguar. The second piece is that because of this connection, your perspective is going to be shifting, which now I'm going to go back to Eagle Condor, because Eagle Condor, oh, can you see this okay? Uh, it's okay if it's not perfect, I know, but Eagle Condor is in alignment. So even though you might be feeling some fear, it is in alignment. This is the perspective that you need. And now we can get into a conversation about owl energy. Jaguar walks in the darkest places, but we're always reminded to shine our light. And Jaguar is that rainbow light. So this is a good thing. I guess I just wanted to really reassure you, Polly, that it's okay. When I experienced this, nobody talked to me about it. It's like not comfortable with it. And maybe you have a calling into shamanism. I recommend the Four Winds. That's where I did my training with Dr. Alberto Vallaldo. And when it comes to talking about things like evil spirits and that kind of stuff, he's somebody that I turn to. And I feel like I needed to tell you that. So that's really special. your snake is out of alignment too, but given everything I just said, it makes sense that snake is out of alignment. So it's kind of like you're growing a new skin, but the seasons changed. So you might be used to wearing a winter coat, but now you need to wear a spring jacket, metaphorically, because you're transforming, transcending. Wow, that was a lot that came. Uh, hey, look over here too. The sisters, they're in alignment, like it's darker, lighter, lightest, but they're over here instead of being over here. So they should be like this, but over here. So it's just interesting. They're holding their formation, and they did that with the last reading as well. But the last reading, they were in alignment. I just find that fascinating, right? So this is good synchronicity, and again, extra synchronicity because it's October 1st and the Morrigan. This is that time the portal opens, and now I'm making more connections. The life, death, life cycle, Jaguar, shadow of the valley of death, Jaguar walking beyond the places we don't know. So this is where it's a bit challenging for me because I don't know Polly, and I don't want to start telling Polly all about Jaguar because Polly, you can go online and look up Jaguar stuff all you want. But that's very powerful. So I would look up Jaguar, and I would also encourage you to look up things like Puma, because depending on the culture, Jaguar, Puma, those are interchangeable words. Same with hummingbird. Some people say butterfly instead of hummingbird. So let us know in the comments what resonates with you. I feel excited for you, Polly. And I'm just catching up on comments now. You're welcome, Rue Ryder. I see you're welcome there. And Polly, you're like, yes, okay, beautiful. And I'm just wondering if there's anything in particular that you were like, yes, that's specifically what I meant, or if you're having interesting dreams. Maybe I'm just being nosy. This is why it's nice to book a private with me too, because then you can just, tell me stuff. And you're welcome, Polly. But I'm not done with Polly yet. Let me just look here. So it's worth mentioning all the gemstones are concentrated here. So emotionally, Polly, it might feel like you're crying. And this is a good crying. This is like just a release. Sometimes in a positive way, you go out for lunch with your friends and you have a nice time. Nothing happened. You just went out for lunch. Everything was fine. Again, nothing happened. But, you're driving home and you just feel really good about going out for lunch with your friends. And all of a sudden it dawns on you that it's a beautiful day. And then the poet inside of you starts crying because, like, the smell of the fresh air just, warms your heart and fills your soul. And all of a sudden you start bawling your eyes out because life is beautiful. So you might feel overwhelmed with feelings. There's going to be like this big washing going on, because even though it's not a good time for you to be transforming and transcending, there's a part of you on a spiritual level that's transforming, transcending. I still need to pick an oracle card for you. I just can't help if there's anything else, you know. So, okay, let me pick a card here. Okay, my pinky finger wants to pick, and it wants to pick one of these cards. Usually I have more space and I just go right to town. Let me just, this one. What's this one? This one right here. It's number 20. Soon I'm going to publish these. I'm just having Canva fun now. And I'm going to be making an app as well for the Dragon Dreams Oracle. I'll stop moving it. You can see it. This one's really special. They're all really special. This one is a picture of my balcony on my old condo. There's a tree, there's a mountain in the background with some snow. Here there's a flower, and everything basically, it's fall, and everything's dying. But there on my balcony is this beautiful pink flower, and I thought about picking it. And I thought, no, even if it dies, the beauty prayer, just leave the flower alone. And you never know, bees and whatnot are still around. They might need this flower. Maybe a spider might need it. One of the petals blowing in the wind will become part of its, nest or something like that. So there I am, and this brown hummingbird. And I've never seen a brown one before. I've seen the black, white with the red throat. I've seen the green ones. I never saw the brown ones. And I just thought, oh my God, there's a motorboat flying around me. It was the hummingbird. And that's what gave birth to this card, because it was a reminder about the power of hummingbird. Nobody tells hummingbird what to do. Nobody tells a dragon what to do, and that's because of hummingbird. The littlest person can make a difference. It's always hard for those who are last. It's hummingbird. Hummingbirds aren't even built to fly, and yet there they are flying around, right? They also fly from North America all the way to Brazil, and they're not even built to fly. So this card's reminding you, like, don't you let anybody tell you what you're capable of or not capable of, including yourself, because you don't even know what you're capable of until you actually, metaphorically, put one foot in front of the other. So hummingbird is telling you, go for your flights. The only way you're going to develop your wings is by taking the flight. Hummingbird doesn't worry about where it's going to get its next meal. It only drinks the highest quality, finest nectar. So this is very powerful, and it makes me think that the nectar in your life is probably going to transform and transcend because of all this jaguar stuff going on. And there's a lot of fruitation, if you will. This is Toby, the tree of life, and his roots here are in this jaguar area. And it's like the leaves are going to be going forward. So even though metaphorically it's fall, things are dying. I don't know where you live. I know for Michael, he's in a hot climate. Me here in Canada, all the leaves are changing color and whatnot and falling down. But your hopes and dreams are still moving forward into fruitation. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Of course, there's always more, but that's what came to me. Oh, you're welcome. I see your comments there. We've only got about 15 minutes left, so.
All right. Let's do one for the collective.
Sure, I'd be happy to do one for the collective. If somebody joins in, stop me and I'll stop the collective, and I'll maybe just pull a Dragon Dreams Oracle. So just before I do have to go, because I have my energy, I meet with the shamans every Wednesday. We have our little connection time at 1, at least until January, and then we'll revisit. Polly's commenting here. Gina, the hummingbird is my grandmother. I have a dragon tattoo on my shoulder. I am a profound empath. I cry with the trees, and I am an ET experiencer through astral traveling. This was awesome. You're welcome. And that makes me think that, jaguar. Investigate jaguar. Look up the 4 winds. If you're wondering where I get my knowledge, a lot of it's through dreams, half remembered, half misunderstood. But a lot of it is from the 4 winds. I'm also a big fan of Ted Andrews. And even just watch a YouTube video about jaguars, and develop your own connections. But just before I do a collective, I wanted to let folks know that I do offer membership. So as a collective, we do gemstone readings. You can get a private one from me. My programs are always alchemizing to meet your needs. And if anybody's out there catching the replay, then I just want you to know that these mini gemstone readings are actually on the lengthy side. So folks who are getting mini gemstone readings, getting a lot of bang for their buck right now, because usually I just mention like, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 quick things, and that's it. But you know what? If nobody else is on here and we have that time, then I feel with conviction we should, go that extra mile, right? So just
I
in case
agree.
you were wondering why sometimes it's longer or shorter. Sorry, Michael,
And
what were you gonna say?
Polly was saying yes, checking that for sure. Thank you so much. You're
You're
most
welcome.
welcome.
Okay, and my eyes are closed. Rosie and I saving up for a condo. Maybe people are thinking about moving as I'm doing the collective here. I would like to get a table with a little stool that pulls out and have lots of space. My computer, I don't have to move it. Let me know in the comments if folks are thinking thoughts like that. Oh, and I'm going counterclockwise. And I can feel Toby's chain under my hand. Ooh, Toby's chain. Whoa,
I'm thinking 7 for the collective.
7. Okay. So I felt like I wanted to bring the gemstones closer this way. This way is the east, the eagle condor way. And like in my room that I'm in. Um, so there's like a pull energy for this. Collectively, we need to make a quantum leap, folks. And this gemstone, the committee of the ones who listen, let me, I'll put it on the back of a card here so you can see it better. It looks like a dog ear.
It does.
And as I was doing this here, scattering the gemstones around, um, the dog, the committee of the ones who listen, um, I don't know how to say this without being offensive. I'm just going to say it. You know, when you're praying to God or your spirit guides and you're like, please this, and I need this to happen, and if these conditions are met, then I can do that. Like the committee of the ones who listen, they're not listening. They're running away from us right now. Like, get me out of here. They're like, we're tired of listening to you complain. Our job is to listen to you, but all we're hearing is complaining. So we don't need to listen to that. We're going to be running away from you. So, um, you know what? That hurts because we like to think that unconditionally our spirit guides listen to us, but we're being reminded about epigenetics because you know what? We're their spirit guide too. I have a very interesting way of flipping things. I have a firm belief that our spirit guides need us just as much as we need them for reasons that I can't even speak to. We all have something to contribute, and the committee of the ones who listen, like maybe we're doing a bit too much bitching and complaining and venting, that we need to recognize if you're just venting, then it doesn't get heard. It's like playing the same song on repeat. People start walking away. You start losing people. So they're being funny and dramatic. Like, get me away! There comes Gina and her complaining. um, but the committee of the ones who listen, um, they want you to know that we're listening to you, so you can trust that you can tell us like your intimate things, and you don't even have to use words. It's just they pick up on all kinds of vibrations, feelings, you know. Um, that's interesting. Toby, just bring it down here. This whole side is blown out. There's nothing here. What number did you say, Michael, for the collective?
7.
7. Okay, so collectively, our heart is stuck. Physically, we're out of alignment. Mentally, we're there, which is probably why the committee of the ones who are listening are, in a lighthearted way, they're making fun of us. They're like, we're running away from you. Toby, the tree of life, is here in the middle. Nothing should be in the middle. He's totally like in the middle. As I was here, I could feel him under me. As a collective, we're feeling anxiety. We're feeling very conditional. We want to move forward, but only if this condition is met. We want to do this, but only if that happens. Something that we're being reminded about that comes with alchemy is that we're in charge of our stories. We're not in charge of other people's stories. We can't control other people. So I'm getting a message here too that the committee of the ones who listen, like they listen to you talking about you. So some of us are being too empathetic and we keep talking to the committee about other people and they're running away from us because they can go talk to those other people about those other people. They're also running away from us because we're redundant, we're stuck in our thoughts, but also because there's a message of control. I want to get married, but only if it's somebody who's 3 to 5 years older or younger than me. I want to get married, but I'm okay if they have children, but the kids have to be 18 plus. You know, those kind of conditions. And the committee of the ones who listen, they don't listen to stuff like that. So they're simultaneously telling me, don't feel bad for telling it like it is. And it, you know what, it applies to me too. I admit it, full disclosure. You know, I have my hopes and dreams and I hope for this, but only if these conditions are met. Well, you know, I can't keep thinking like that, right? Like,
Well,
um,
I also wonder,
no.
could they be running and tired of listening because we state what we want but take no action? And so we just want it handed to us instead of doing the work.
Yes, that's a very good point, Michael, because this is a collective reading. And you know what? Like, I'm tired of people who want to talk to me, but when it comes time to actually doing their homework, nope, not interested. You know, uh, people have all the time in the world for this and that. They have all the money in the world for this and that. But to work on themselves or to make the change, no, they just want me to do a magic show. So, people like me have actually told people recently that they're not an ideal client. Keep your money. Don't come see me. um, so part of me is running away from people, if you will. You know what? You're putting an interesting spin on this, Michael, because it's making me realize in this moment, the more I sink into this present moment, that collectively we're running away from each other, and that's very positive. Um, in terms of setting boundaries. Um, Somebody recently called me because they were very upset about something. And, you know, I talked to them because they're my friend. Um, but then I thought about it later and I thought, actually, I don't think this person is my friend. This person just calls me when they need a service. Um, so metaphorically, I'm not listening to that person anymore. I've told this person, here's my website, book if you want a session. So I have become the committee of the ones who listen in this example, and I'm running away. So I'm wondering, like, who are you running away from? But this is a positive thing because when we set these healthy boundaries, when we run away and stop listening, it makes space to hear other voices to listen to, right? Hmm. This is very interesting. I have to go in about 6 minutes. It's literally just a matter of me signing off here, signing on to the other one. But just let me look at this a little bit more. As far as transforming and transcending, a lot of us are feeling stuck. Jaguar should be on this side, but Jaguar is right down here in the stuck zone. And the how are we going to get unstuck? Like, it seems like how we're going to get unstuck and move on as a collective is, well, I won't reiterate everything, but a very powerful point of the committee of the ones who listen. And I like how they're being lighthearted about it. Like, they're just like, get me the hell out of here. Like, that's the kind of energy. And I think it's interesting too, because when I come down here, this side is completely empty. This is the eagle condor eye. Eagle condor is the eye that sees all or nothing. Eagle condor sees nothing right now. Except for the first reading that I did, flying with eagle condor. Woo Rider DG, you are a strong minority. I don't think Woo Rider DG is tuning in right now, but if anybody catches Woo Rider DG, you're a minority in a very positive way. And let me just pick an oracle card for the collective here. Okay, my middle finger representing the fire. I want something over here. This one. What's this one?
Love.
Love. This one reminds us to love unconditionally. So, you know, like on Valentine's Day, there's an emphasis on the lovers. Well, we're being reminded that every day is Valentine's Day, and it's not just about the lovers. It's love for life, love for your gardening, love for your whatever your passions are, love for, you know, playing the piano, love for pets, love for color, seasons. So this is making me feel like the committee of the ones who listen, who are not listening to us right now, that they actually are listening to us. And they're telling us, like, listen with your eyes, listen with your ears. Don't listen with your ears, listen with your other senses. See what the other languages are speaking to you, thinking and feeling. Listen with your heart. You know that expression, feed your heart? We need to listen with our heart. Listen with your sense of touch, you know? Oh, wow. I had a really great time tonight, this afternoon. I'm just noticing the time. I gotta go already. Thank you so much, Michael, for having me. I'm absolutely delighted. And
Yes, thank you for doing this for us.
yes, folks out there can find me on ginavirginiacasella.com. Visit my Facebook group. It's free. I would love for you to join the free Facebook group, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective. I would absolutely adore if you registered for one of my programs. The full moon is upon us. There's a full moon collective reading. If you join the Facebook group, you'll see events I posted in there, and also buy me a coffee. I know folks out there don't always have Facebook. YouTube as well, abundance of resources, ginavirginiacasella.com. And also just to remind you that the Gemstone reading is a creation of my own making, and I've got 8 books published on Amazon, which threads all of these together. So thank you so much again. And I guess I'll see you next time. And Michael's going to be on my show too, Story Species, Story Medicine. So keep an eye out for that.
Yep, November 3rd. All right. So thank you to everyone, and have a blessed Wednesday and rest of the week, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody. Take care. Bye, Michael.